Alright then, guys, I thought what we would do now is we would take this big pile of parts back here and go through the trunk and see what's in here. And if I recognize it, I'll name it off to you. I probably will recognize all of it. So we'll see what's in here. I got my blanket set up over here so I can kind of organize it. Yeah. First of all, we got the shield for the gas tank. Goes between the gas tank and the body of the car. The gas tank's out of it. He said it's ruined. It had holes in it. This car sat a long time. We got the shroud, which is probably the original. Should have a part. Yeah, should have a part number here. 2579011 Chrysler. That's a low part number, so that's probably the original fan shroud. And then we have this heavy monster of a radiator back here. Oh, wow. Which was sitting outside for whatever reason. 2582962 Chrysler symbols and all that. I'm going to guess that this is the original radiator. This sucker is heavy as can be. It's a monster. But you don't want to know how much it costs to buy that. It's got all the bolts still with it. Good. Okay, looks like we got some belts, which those big junk. I'll use them for reference if I need to. Okay, we got an air conditioning line. The air conditioning system, that's good. How about the fuzz guys? Air conditioning compressor. Yeah. Oh wow! With the bracket on it, that's good. Let's see if it turns. That's not good. Don't feel like it. Wonderful. Oh. May only put all the oil out of it. Got the two gas tank straps, that's good. They're good. Hell out of here, folks. Got the flex plate. Fuel pump. It's not the original, it's got an 81 part number on it, or date code. Some kind of module from a Mitsubishi, that doesn't go to this. Garbage. Got the engine fan. Just a dead wasp in it. It's had a replacement fan clutch put on it. J is 65. That's a date code right there on the blade. So that would mean somewhere in the fall of 65. Very good. Good. Water pump, which feels terrible, but it does have the bolts in it. That's good. Yeah. This is why you always gotta remember, guys, when you take something apart, just remember it's gonna have to go back together at some point. 3 more engine belts. Piece of throttle linkage to the carburetor. That's actually from the transmission. We've got a starter, which is not the original. It's probably another generic reman. Yeah, I can't see a number on it, but I know it's not. That's a large frame starter anyway. God damn, get out of here. You ought to see the bugs out here. Anyway, this is not the original. I know for a fact just looking at it because it's got a bolted on solenoid housing, and this car doesn't take that type. This car takes the gasketed in one, the sealer one in, 209 5150 starter, which I have one of those. So, keep it as a spare. Motor mount. Another piece of transmission kickdown linkage. That's good. Stuff's hard to find anymore. I gotta show you guys this. You're not gonna believe this. Look at that. My gosh. I ought to get my citronelle torch out here. That'd work. Matter of fact, it's a good idea. I'll be back. There we go. All right, where were we? Got a distributor. Spark plug wires. What's the number on the distributor say? Nothing. It's not a stamp on it or a tag. I wonder if it's a replacement. Well, that's good. The advance works. Vacuum advance works. Huh. That's good. Wait a minute. I may have spoke too soon. Well, there's a number in it, but it's been bead. This thing's been bead blasted, so it's not. It's a reman, I think. What am I trying to say? Reman. Okay, you got the valve covers. And these are the ones that I want to use on the engine that goes in this car because they've got, well, might not have to, but I think something about the PCV valve is different, or the vent valve is different. But this one's just got a vent on it instead of a pipe going up to the air cleaner. See, this has got media, metal media. If it looks like there's a bug on that camera, there is. Come on, Citronella. Do your job. All right. Here's the, looks like the factory fuel line. The filter's still on it. There's some clamps. Very good. This is the end that goes into the fuel pump down here, and then it goes up to the carburetor up top up there. Right. Another air conditioning line. Looks like something's broken on this one. Yeah, it is, because, well, it just came out. There's this little capillary tube, I guess it is. No, maybe not. I don't know. That'll be all right. There's another piece to that. Very good. Yeah. Looks like in a box it's got the rocker arms in it and the push rods. Nope, just rocker arms. And the flywheel cover. Alright, an alternator, which is the right style. Can you believe that? Have to check the number on it. It's painted black. I don't know why that is, but it's a round back like it's supposed to be on it. Very good. Very good. Alright, see some more stuff here. Grocery sack, which has a power steering pump in it. Right there, see in there, the hose. Good. Another plug wire. Hey, check it out. Here's the missing left-hand wiper blade. The original style's got the little fairing on it. Excellent. Set of valve cover gaskets. New Wicks air filter. Good. Exhaust gaskets. Radiator hose with one of the original clamps still on it. Dipstick tube. Negative battery cable. Not the original. The filler cap, filler tube for the gas tank. There's seal, which is no good. That's got to be cleaned out. And oh my gosh, here's the exhaust manifolds. It's good, very good. One of them. Saw a bug. Damn it. There's some evidence of vermin. Here's the other manifold with a functioning heat riser. Can you believe that? Some braces. And there's a spare parts stack here. You don't even believe this. We'll have to do this one. We'll have to do this box here on its own. There's so much stuff in there. There's even another one over here. Got a box of, oh yeah, here's the air cleaner. A clip of some sort. This big old huge air cleaner. Well, it's kind of rusty. Yeah. Have to work on that a little bit. Not even sure that's the air cleaner I'll use on. I've got an unsilenced air cleaner. I may choose to use that one. Got belts. Got some kind of replacement spider, fuel filter. Yeah, good deal. Another replacement fuel filter. It's good. Hey, it's even got the clamps I need. I use that on the other car, I think. There's a oil filter. Look at this. Looks like a brand new set of plug wires. Never been used. Standard performance. Standards used to be good plug wires. Wonder where they're made at. Made in USA. How about that? Dun, dun, dun. Alright, and then we got there's something else in here, another air conditioning line, looks like. And a lug wrench. You look at this. Look at this old air pump. Check it out. Good Lord, how old do you think that thing is? Look, you take the handle, it folds normally, but when you're ready to use it, you take the handle and slide it, and then slide it that way. It looks like it even still pumps air. How about that? Well, it's leaking up here a little bit, but man, God, how nice. And if that wasn't enough, somebody has taken such good care of this car. There's no spare end, I see. But somebody's taken such good care of this car that they put another trunk lid mat over the original. There's the original, and it's, I see it back here too. Somewhere, I saw it. Yeah, right there. So hopefully that thing's all in one piece. Magnificent, magnificent. All right, guys. Well, I guess I'm going to go and find spot in the shed for all this stuff, the garage for all this stuff, because I don't want the trunk, because that trunk looks like it's had some critters in it, and I don't want to keep giving them a habitat for an easy place to live. So let me clean that up a little bit. Okay, well, hope you enjoyed this tour of this thing. Big old land yacht. I love them though. So, you know, it's just sometimes it's just a blessing, you know. You have to go through so much crap cars till you find a good one. I found that white one over there. That was such a nice car, and then this one. So it just pays to use discipline. That's something I didn't have very much of earlier on, so try to have it now. Okay, well, thank you so much for watching. We'll do more on this car. As Jonathan W. says, bye. All right, where are we? Okay, so as you saw earlier, I went up and got this engine and some other accoutrements that go with it from the seller of the 300 out there, and just gonna give you a little overview of it. Let me go grab my light here. So this is it. This is the short block, 383 short block, and I don't know. The guy didn't really say a whole lot about what actually happened when they tried to get this thing running. But as I said earlier in another video, they allegedly drug it out of its resting place in a barn up in Tennessee, and tried to get it started, and it would not. It ran, but it dropped a valve or did something. But my money goes on the valve stuck, because if you look over here on this front piston here, there is a kiss mark from a valve, but it does not look like. It looks like the valve might have actually did break because of the angle that he's taking his grinder and ground the edges down a little bit, I guess, to keep from creating a hot spot or whatever. But anyway, he kind of, I'm not sure what they were trying to do with this, because they put new bearings in it, and I don't know if he said he put new rings in it. They may have, but they didn't bore it. And it doesn't really have much of a ridge on it, but I can feel a small one. So I don't know if they honed it. Looks like they might have honed it, cylinders. But either way, it wasn't rebuilt. It's got the factory cam still in it. They put a good old cheap old silent link cam on it, and then they bought all the gaskets and all that stuff to put it together with. I guess they were gonna do that, and lost interest. He said he didn't really care about the car himself. It was just for his sons, and they got it apart. And as we all know, it's more fun and easier to take things apart than it is to put them back together again. I know that firsthand. So I want to talk a little bit about. Looks like they also put freeze plugs in it too. I want to talk some about numbers matching on these Mopars, and I don't profess to be an authority on it, but I know a fair amount about it. And if you're a GM guy, and maybe a Ford does it too, I don't know, and other makes, but I know for a fact Chevy, if you have an ID pad, which is where this is on this big block Chrysler, then you may have a partial VIN or something stamped into it, and then you have a letter code somewhere on there, like PK or PD or CE or CT or something like that. And that letter code is ultimately important because it tells you what application that engine goes in and all that. So I think a few people on YouTube have looked those up on their cars to find out if they were authentic and had the right engine in them. But before 1969, meaning model year 1968 and earlier, Chrysler did not subscribe to that philosophy. They did not do that. Now 69 up they did. They put a partial VIN somewhere on the engine. It had partial last six of the VIN, and that way you could tell for a fact if it was supposed to be, it was in the car it came in. So, but the earlier ones did not. You just had to use some kind of little bit of detective work and kind of come to a conclusion. Now they did tell you some things. Now you have on these, you have a casting number, which on this one is 2468130. I think this one is. It says LL, and below it there's a 5 out there. And I believe that's the casting date right there. At the very top, get the light out of it, 11/26/65. So that tells you that this is an engine that is intended for model year 1966. Now this is supposed to be the engine out of this 66 Chrysler 300 out here. So I already got one clue that it is the right engine for it. And then we come up here, if we look on this pad, this is where distributor mounts on one of these goes in right there. The pad here has some stamped characters on it, and that tells you another part of the story. If I can get this focused, this damn camera. Let's see what we got here. Alright, if you look there, that'd be hard to see, but that says B383, and then there's a Maltese cross out beside it. And then there's a 1212 beside, down from it rather. So what that means is the B is the denotation for the model year. B in this case is 1966. C would be 1967. D would be 1968, and on like that. So 383 is the cubic inch displacement, and the Maltese cross, if you ever see something like that, it usually means that the main bearings are thousandths, 10 thousandths undersized. So I believe that's correct. So that tells you, anyway, that tells you another clue that this is the right engine for it. And plus I have a carburetor over there that has the right date code on it, 11 or 12 of 65, and then I have an intake manifold that's got a casting date of 11/22, and we can assume that to be 65 since it was on a 66 car. So you get a lot of clues there, so that's good. You got a set of 5/16s, number 5/16 heads, and I would say with some investigation they will prove to be date coded the same. So this car was registered the very first part in 1966, so I think it was sold 12 late December of 65. So that tells you guys that it's all legit. Now it's not 100% definitive proof like it is on the later ones, but it's enough for you to know. I mean, it's enough to go with. And you know, that's the thing, that it makes it a little bit easier if you have an older Mopar like this and you're missing an engine. Then, you know, if you want to be 100% correct with it, you can find an engine that has the right date code, carburetor has the right date code, and stuff like that. Nobody's going to ever know the difference on it. Now, if I put that 67 383 that's in that Fury out there, if I put it in this car, only somebody that goes looking at the block and looking at the date code on the block and looking at the character marks on the pad up here, we're going to know any different. It's not the original. But so that's kind of how that goes. I also was going to mention to you that the radiator is the original. The part number matches perfectly. So the alternator was not, the starter was not, this carburetor was. So I was glad to see all that. And he gave me some more, like I said, more stuff. I got the oil pan, I got a box full of brackets and bolts, and I got another box under here that's got, yeah, it went right in the oil. I tell you what, if there's ever a freaking pan of oil, guaranteed, if you want something to fall in it, it will. Get out of it. Get out of it. But anyway, it's got the, take my word for it, it's got the front cover and stuff on it. Not that front cover. This has got the one that's got the water pump housing on it. And we got another box. It's got push rods, got an oil distributor drive, it's got, I don't know if that's the right water, it looks like it's the original, but water neck. Got the choke. I'm going to tell you guys something. Y'all may question me and say, well, if you really make a good deal, I'm going to tell you, if you want to go try to find this stuff piecemeal, you'd spend about as much as what I spent for that car, so if not more. Just finding some of the parts on top of the price of the car. Well, let me take that back. That's not really accurate. If you would have to try to get the car a lot cheaper to make up for having to find all the parts. Now this is the legendary hot and cold temperature switch. It's got the 2 poles on it. Front pulleys. Something else is there. Oh yeah, he found a spare tire that goes in it, and he found a piece of the jack and the wing nut. My luck will never be that good again, I guarantee you that. So anyway, I'm going to go in and cool off for a little bit. It is so humid out here, it's unbelievable. It's starting to rain again. It rained this morning too. Oops, my gloves get wet. This has been a big weekend. Whew. Seems like every time I do this though, it's taking more and more work to do it. I'm just kind of, you know, I think the plan going forward is I'm going to, this evening I'm going to start working all these parts away and I'm going to get everything kind of organized, and then I'm going to get that Fury in here and get the engine pulled out of it and get it going. I think I'm also going to pull the brakes off of it because it's got dual circuit system on it, and I think I can put that on that car out there. It's got a single circuit, which I don't like. All right, guys, so I'm having to shout to talk over this rain, so I'm going to let you go for now, and we may do another part of this video, or this may be the end. Either way, thanks so much for watching. Have a good one. Man, that close. Gotta have water. Crap. Don't ask me how many years ago I lost the handle of that engine. It's been a long time. Always in the way. Something always in the way. What is it this time? Rock or hard? Just kind of breaks you down. Scoochie. Weird. Boy. Making that thing flex too. You know what? Yes. kit out of here. My 1 1/4 socket went off too. Wrong side, dumbass. Yeah. surface rust on that one. Oops. Yeah, you would. Out. Fit. This garbage bag is large enough you can fit a 383 short block. Guarantee you not to break. Ooh, boy, this barrel. Good. Man, I feel like Roadkill Garage now, or Motor Friend Garage, whatever the hell it's called. All right, guys, we're gonna do one more fun little thing here, and then we're gonna call it a night. What do you think? Put my gloves off. There we go. All right, before I go in, I think we're gonna do one fun thing here, and that is this. This is a box of stuff that was in the trunk of that Chrysler I bought. I have no idea what all's in here, but it's gonna be like a time capsule, opening a time capsule, because that car's been parked since 1990 or so. So allegedly all this stuff was put in there previous to 1990. So let's take a walk down memory lane, shall we, and see what was in this box here. All right, first up, it looks like we have a replacement Goodyear radiator hose. I don't know if that's the upper or the lower. It looks like the lower, if it's to that car. I don't know if it is or not. We have an unopened roll of twine. I'll raise you guys up a little bit, I think there. Looks like we have a Victor chemical seal patch kit, sold at Walmart for $1.12. Not even ever been opened, that I can tell. Patch those tires with that. We have a spare ballast resistor for points. We have some unidentified rubber seal. We have a thermostat. It's a 180-degree thermostat. I don't know who made this one. No, it's there. We have some assemblage of exhaust hangers and clamps. Like. I have a universal joint from Sears. Did you know that Sears sold universal joints? And here's another one for you. Look at this. This box has metal things on the corner to keep it together. Would they do that today? Yep. Sold by Sears Roebuck and Company, Chicago, Illinois. So somebody made this for them. This is number 5103. Chrysler's only take two different kinds of universal joints. Oh, this is a spare one. This is the old one, I guess. This is a Detroit non-greasable U-joint. It doesn't feel too good, so I'll inspect it, but I don't know they kept that. Guy said they were frugal. Oh, by the way, this is going to be one of those oh, by the way things we catch in the middle of the video. They said that car was not sold new in Florida. It went to Florida, but right after when they bought it, but it was sold at M&M Motors in Byrdstown, Tennessee. allegedly. Radiator cap with a push button on it. You ever seen something like that? I guess that's what you set the bomb off with. That's neat. 15 to 18 pounds. Looks like it's missing a seal in there possibly. There's a, oh okay, good. Here we go. Radiator hose bandage. Now that's exactly the thing you need when you got a boiling hot cooling system leaking. Instantly stops all leaks. I'll laugh at that, but I'll probably keep that. Instructions to install. Stop engine, wait till car cools down to prevent burns. Find leaking radiator hose. Wrap hose bandage securely around radiator hose at least 1 inch from hole. Wrap over at least 1 inch of beginning hose bandage. Wrap bandage flat, well, you get the idea. There's a train coming. Here's a spare set of points and condenser. Now let me point something out to you younger folks. You used to be able to buy this stuff. See how it's got the hanger on it? You used to buy this at the department store. That's how common this stuff was back then. Very good. Auto Tune, Bradford, Connecticut. Well, how about that? That's good to have that. Something painted blue that came off that car out there, I guess. Some very light gauge wiring. Here's another Easy Fix patch kit, 86 cents from Walmart. Apparently they've patched a lot of tires. Here's a ignition coil. And again, one of these little hanger, used to be on a hanger thing, hung on the shelf. Who knows what's any good. I guess you find out by putting it in and see if it works. There's another ignition coil with a bracket on it. Here's a distributor cap. Don't know who made it. Not a very good one. It's got aluminum terminals in it. Road Max, some kind of a fan belt. There's a spare voltage regulator. How long has it been since you've seen something like this? Super Glue Corporation, pure copper radiator stop leak. Fixes on contact. Permanent, will not flush out. Treats 22 quarts. Okay. Well, I guess I know what this is. And you put this in your radiator, your water. I like the nice 1980s car on there, Ferrari or something like that. 1982. Okay, that's when it was. Do not dump. Just pour it slow. We got hydraulic brake parts, which happen to be an assortment of wheel cylinder cups. Brand new, looks like. A kit, I guess. 2 cups, 2 seals, and a spring. Looks like it may do 1 or 2. That's good. We have Bauer BCA bearings. Looks like wheel bearings. If I had to make a guess. Yep, wheel bearing of some sort. Probably one of the front ones. Another wheel bearing. I'm not going to open that one, but I can tell that's part of the outer. That's part of the inner, and that's part of the outer front. Some unknown bracket. I will need that to go put everything together. Another thermostat. I don't know why this gentleman kept spare thermostats. Some bulbs. Replaces number 1034. This is, I believe, these are 1157. Driver's choice bulbs. Never been opened. Marketed by Walmart stores. Now, guys, that's what I used to see back when I got out of high school. That was all. This is what everything looked like back then. So it looks like they got a version of a Monte Carlo or a Grand Prix there, a generic version. Another condenser. This is a PCV. Oh wow, look at this. This goes to that car for sure. PCV valve SPC 92. They bought it at Pick and Save for $1.89. Chrysler all 1961 to 69. Dodge Plymouth all 62 to 69. For good engine performance, change regularly. It's never been used. How about that? They always give you instructions. And if you don't know how old this thing is, it's 1975 STP Corporation. There again, you guys that are my age and older and around my age and older and all that, and older, this is how you bought this stuff. You guys remember that, I'm sure. Chrysler parts, nothing in that one. This is the strap to at the gas tank that jumps the ground. This is another bracket for a condenser. Here we got another high temp fuel line, 24-inch length, Cobra clamps. Yeah. Belt things, sandpaper, spark plugs, and not currently known piece of vent hose line. Another condenser, another set of points. But don't look too good. No, they're probably all right. Probably could use them. Keep them in a pinch. Some clamps, different sorts. Rotor button. Looks like it's never been used. Another looks like a wheel seal. I think that's a wheel seal of some sort. I don't remember what it goes like. Ice scraper. Another spare thermostat. Clamps. I won't show you that. The rest of that. Nice pair of pliers. What the heck is this? I'll smell that one. I'll tell you what this is right away. This is the thing that bolts to the engine, holds the heater hoses in place. Screwdriver, flat blade. Something that looks like it may match that foam looking deal. I'm not sure what that is. Bunch of clamps. Another set of points. Just don't look like they've been used either. I'm gonna clean these up because they say the points, the older points, are better than what's getting new now. Very good. A spark plug wire loom, the holders. Grab the spark plugs. I had to order all this crap when I put that Fury together. Another one of those just kind of holds it. It's just a piece of metal that holds it up out of the manifold. I know what this is. This was looking for this. I hope it's any good. Maybe it will be. But this is the idler pull that goes on one of the belts to the air conditioner or something up there. So yeah, guys. So there you go. For some of you, this will be a trip down memory lane. But this is a snapshot of what you carried with you when. Remember, they had a fuel filter in there too. What you carry with you when you drive one of those cars back then regularly. You carried several things of points, thermostats. I don't remember ever anybody carrying that many thermostats. Stuff to patch a tire, belts, you know. Anything can fail, you take it with you. So, all right. We got another, that spare there, that's another Dynaglass belted 32, excuse me. All right, dudes and dudettes, I'm tired. I'm going in. I'm going to render this video while I get a shower and call it one. So, thanks for coming along with me. And I'm sorry that one of you had to be such an ass that you got blocked, but that's what happens. I'm not going to have somebody come on my channel and pick on other people. You're not going to do that. You're welcome to share your opinion if it's not an attack. And you're welcome to differ with your opinion, differ with mine. That's fine. I don't censor people. But when you go after somebody else, especially if you're in no position to be shall we say, judge and jury. It ain't gonna happen. So otherwise, thanks so much for watching, guys. And see if I can get up now. Oh, my bones are getting creaky. All right. See you, bye. Hey guys, well, I thought I would tack on this last little segment onto the end of all this other stuff and look at something interesting. A YouTuber by the name of Audubon5425 told me in the comments the other day about this Chrysler out here. He said there's a drawer in the glove box that pulls out. It's got room for papers and stuff. I was like, huh? Well, sure enough, there is. It's kind of down in the bottom there. You just kind of, this is it. You know, pulls out. It's like a secret compartment. Well, I pulled it out. Look at all that. So what this is without me going through every last bit of it, there's every tag receipt from 1966 onward to 1988 or so. Let's see, we got 66 registration, 67 registration, goes on and on. We got insurance policy period 12/28/65 to 8/10/66. I think that's when they bought it. So that's what all this is. So if I ever have to go to the tag office and prove that this car is what it says it's what I say it is, then I guess I got enough proof of that. But one other thing that was really interesting was this gentleman did what a lot of people that are kind of picky about their cars and stuff tended to do back then. I don't know if they still do it, but they wrote down a list of repairs they made to it at different times, and this one says, it's hard to read it on the camera, but it says repairs Chrysler 300 March April 1983, and then down below it says mileage 24,800. So without having to try to read it, I'm going to just read it off to you here. 1, change rear wheel oil seals. 2, drain and refill differential. 3, new universal joints. 4, drain, new filter, refill transmission. 5, new front wheel bearings and seals. 6, rebuild starter, new brushes, turn down armature, new contact. He says bolts. I don't know. I think that's, I guess that's for the solenoid. 7, flush radiator, new hoses and heater hoses. Number 8, what's that say? New ignition points, condenser, clean and oil distributor. Number 9, new spark plugs, which are number J12X. I guess those are champions. Number 10, new spark plug cables. Number 11, new fuel pump and gas filter. And then there was another new gas filter, 326/85, out to the side there. Number 12, drain power steering pump and new oil, 3/6/86. Number 13, new belts, air conditioning and water pump. I guess that's just what they were, the AC belts and water pump belts. Number 14, rebuild master cylinder. Number 15, repack idler bearings on water pump belt. It's got a little idler. You saw that. I picked that out of that box. 16, new air cleaner. I guess he means new air filter. Number 17, new radiator cap. And then another new cap, 327/88. Number 18, new gaskets, including valve cover, distributor, and fuel pump. Number 19, repair. I'm not sure what this means here. I think I do. Repair packing in rear springs. May mean the insulators. I'm not sure what that means. Maybe, or there's little rubber strips that are in them. Maybe that's what it's supposed to mean. Number 20, new muffler, axle, crossover pipe, resonator, and tailpipe, 5/20/83. And then he wrote the prices all down on the back of it for what all this stuff costs. Oil seals, $10. Oil differential oil, $1.65. U-joint, $21. Something $6. Filter, trans oil, I guess $13. Bearings and seals, $45. Starter, $15 for the parts. Hoses, $10. Heater hose, $4. Not sure what that says, but it's $5. Can't read his writing. Fuel pump. Well, anyway, grand total was $211.85. Muffler was $50. Resonator was $22. What's that mean? Clamps? I'm not sure what that says there. Something's going to see. $8 and tailpipe $5. Grand total $296.85. 10-12-85 new spark plugs again. J12X. So there you go. This thing has the odometer shows 24,000 miles on it at that point, and it shows 50 on it now. So all right, that's pretty interesting. So a bunch of paperwork here. So I thought you'd just maybe find it a little bit interesting, see all that stuff there. Okay, well, I'm going to get this thing together and post it. I've been super busy this week. Haven't had time to hardly sit and think, much less edit a video, but I'm going to go ahead and get that done tonight. So, all right, guys, well, the weekend's almost here, and I'm ready to turn some wrenches. See you on the next one.